Google and Facebook ads are dead. Podcasting is the new way to get sales and get clients and make profit for your business fast. If you own a business and you haven't started a podcast, you are falling behind. And you only have a small amount of time before all your competitors start their own show and get ahead of you if they haven't already. Right now, you have a small amount of time before podcasting gets too crowded and you miss out on easy sales, easy clients, and easy profit for your business. So now is the time to act and start your own podcast. You're probably thinking, what does this kid know about podcasting and marketing? Well, what if I told you in 3 months of starting my own show, I gained over 50,000 monthly listeners on YouTube alone. I secured dream guests like SpaceX co-founder Jim Cantrell, and I'm now monetized on YouTube, all from starting a podcast with my laptop, with a USB microphone. Most business owners think starting a podcast is expensive, pointless, and time consuming. This is all wrong. And after watching this, you'll know exactly why starting a podcast will get you more sales for your business. Setting up a podcast is easy. I set it up for less than $100 a month, and I've got over 3 million views and counting across all social medias. And I've got 50,000 monthly listeners on YouTube. And this is just the beginning. And I can show you exactly how I did this and started my own show and what equipment I used and the exact tactics I use, but we'll get to that later. First, let's talk about why you need to start podcasting to grow your business super effectively and get more sales. Podcasting generates new customers and builds trust. Podcasting will grow your business and get new customers because it builds organic, authentic trust with potential customers. If you post 20, 40-minute, 60-minute podcasts every single week, uninterrupted, it will allow you to establish authority in your niche and familiarity faster than any other form of advertisement. This trust with your audience leads to warmer leads and faster conversions because they get to know yourself, your company, what it stands for, what your products are, way more and in way more detail than any other form of marketing or advertising. The second is it creates a high leverage funnel. If you record 1 hour of podcasting per week for your business, that doesn't translate to just an hour episode. It translates to an unlimited amount of content that you can repurpose from that podcast. Why does it matter? It means you don't have to spend loads of time, loads of money on creating organic content from scratch. You can literally use your podcast to create short form content, blog posts, newsletters, LinkedIn posts, all from just 1 hour. It's super high leverage. Let me give you an example. So if you recorded a 1 hour podcast for your business, that would give you 10, 20, 30 clips that you can put onto TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube Shorts. Then what that does is it creates a whole new audience potential for you because short form content gets the most views, and then those viewers will turn into your full-time podcast listeners. And then after doing that, they'll be super warm. They'll trust you way more than if they just saw a Google advertisement of your product, and they'll align with your mission, they'll align with your values, and then become a customer and probably buy your product. All you had to do is record one hour podcast. You didn't have to create loads of TikToks from scratch and script all of them. No, you literally just recorded an hour video and it turned into an unlimited goldmine of content. You can also turn your podcasts into LinkedIn posts using the transcripts or blog posts using AI to help you repurpose it. It's super effective, super efficient, and literally frees up so much other time for you to focus on other things that truly move your business forward. And all of this costs $0 of ad spend. It's a no-brainer for your business. Another reason why you should start your podcast as a business owner is guest strategy. What do I mean by guest strategy? If you invite clients, industry leaders to your show, this gives them a reason to build up a relationship with you and build trust with you. And in the long term, that will make them more likely to refer your product or buy your product or partner with your business because you've sat down, had a long conversation, got to know each other, and made a friendship and a relationship from just recording that podcast, which also gives you unlimited content to show to customers and attract new customers in the process. An example would be a personal trainer. So if you're a personal trainer or you own your own gym, you would make a podcast where you sit down with a client who's transformed. So say they were overweight and then they became in really good shape. You would sit down with them and have an hour conversation where you talk about the exact steps you took and the client took to transform their body. You'd ask them about their story and how you helped them do that in the process and help them lead to that transformation. What this would do is it would be shown to potential customers who are interested in losing weight, because the algorithm pushes it to people that are interested in the topic you're talking about. And then what this does is it makes them trust you more because they get to know you, because you can't fake, being someone you're not for an hour every single week. It shows them the exact social proof that they need to convince them to sign up to your personal training program, because you're sat down with a client who went from super overweight to super in shape. We love stories as humans. We remember stories as humans. So if a potential customer watches your podcast and listens to the stories that your guest says about how you help them transform their lives, they're going to believe and trust you more and therefore be more likely to sign up. Also, if they do sign up, they'll know way more about you, which means they'll trust you more. And they'll also know exactly what to expect on the program, because you would have been spending hours every single week talking about the program and how it works to guests who have changed their life. This is such a good strategy if you're doing something like personal training and you want a form of organic advertisement. You just get clients on the show who have changed their lives and tell them to talk about their story and what you guys did to get them that result. A really good example of how a podcast builds trust for your customers is, imagine your potential customer listens to your CEO talk about the product and your business for 20 to 30 minutes every week or every single day. That forms a parasocial relationship with the potential customer and your CEO. Therefore, they feel like they know you, they know your company, they know your CEO. It builds trust with your business and the potential customer, which will lead to a higher chance of them eventually buying your product, because they know exactly what the CEO and the company stands for and knows everything about the product, because you would be talking about all of that in your podcast. So by the time they buy, they already feel like they know you, they already feel like they trust you, and therefore they have a much higher chance of buying for you. Compare that to a generic advertisement on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or Google, where you post a 20-second video or a headline and some copy. They're not going to understand the actual people behind the product. Whereas when you make a podcast, the potential customer gets to know you as a person, which may seem a bit, off-putting at the start, but we as humans buy from people we trust, and we buy into stories and the mission. And by making a podcast for your business, you can do that every single week for free and post it to the world and attract clients and customers organically. It's an absolute no-brainer. Not enough businesses are doing it. And if you start it now, you're ahead of the game. If you wait a day, a week, a month, or even a year, you're completely going to fall behind. This is the new strategy to grow your business. Create a podcast, send it out to the world, get clients on your show, get customers onto your show, get industry experts onto your show, related to your business, related to your values, talk about your products, talk about who you are and what your business stands for. This will turn viewers into potential customers. And the more they listen, the more they trust you, the higher chance they'll buy your product. It takes 1 hour a week. And with that 1 hour, you can turn it into hours worth of blog posts, of repurposed clips to post on TikTok to generate new viewers, and therefore get a higher chance and a higher volume of potential customers who will buy from your business the more they listen to your show and get to know you and the product. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's complete for free. If you don't want to miss out on this and you genuinely want to elevate your business through organic podcast content marketing, then top link in the description. I'll literally give you the step-by-step blueprint of how you can go from no podcasting experience and all these limiting beliefs that you think to a pro remote podcast that you can do for less than $100 in the bank. And I'm sure if you're a business owner, you probably have way more to spend on advertising than that. So this is the blueprint you need to go from no podcast to a podcast with over 3 million social media views, like what happened to me when I first started my show. It's all in the top link in the description. Check it out now. And if you join live weekly calls, I can help your business and give you personalized feedback on what you need to do to grow your show and therefore get more customers. So if you want to know exactly how to start your own podcast, even if you're a small business owner who's only got a couple of $100 to spend, or if you're a massive company, you're part of a Fortune 5,000 company, and you still want to get into podcasting, this is exactly for you. It is my pro podcast blueprint, top link in the description. It's a video course where I go through the exact process of how to create the channel, what equipment to use, what software to use if you're going to do it remotely, how to reach out to potential clients or guests or industry leaders who you want to come onto your show, how to post it on specific platforms, how to repurpose that content into short form clips, LinkedIn posts, blogs to help you attract a new audience, which will eventually become customers of your product and of your company and of your brand. If you want to know the exact blueprint and you also want to join weekly live calls where I can give you personalized feedback on how to grow your podcast and therefore grow your business, top link in the description for my remote podcast blueprint. You will not regret it. Grow your business today or miss out on one of the best free marketing opportunities that will ever exist before your competitors do. I'm rooting for you. I'll hopefully see you in the private paid community very soon. Goodbye.